Like how he was like fucking prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's raw, it's uncensored, it's live 24/7. It's chaoticradio.com.
How good is the Kind of Gaming Show? Turns out, it's pretty good.
Welcome to the Kinda Gaming Show live on chaoticradio.com. My name is Andrew, your host, along with my two co-hosts, also hosts.
Compadres.
Co-host, yeah.
Compadres.
We're all co-hosts. That's how that word works.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a co-host.
Nice.
You're our co-host.
Yeah.
I
We're
feel
your
you.
co-hosts.
I feel you. I'm going to turn you up just a little bit, Miguel.
Oh, sorry. I don't think you needed to.
Oh, okay.
I was just coming at it at a weird angle. See.
I see. Well, we're here with our two usual co-hosts, Miguel and Connor.
The usual bunch.
Brandon, I assume, is snorting cocaine off a hooker's ass at this point because he hasn't texted me at all. So that's the obvious thing he's doing.
Wouldn't you rather assume he's working on a project or something?
He's probably getting another tattoo.
Making video games.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to assume he's working on a game.
Yeah. All right.
So we have a show tonight.
We do?
Normally I would say it's like, oh, we have a loaded show. We have a full show tonight, but we have a show.
We have a show.
We have a show.
Really selling us.
We have a buddy coming on in the second half.
Yeah, we have a buddy, the CEO of the now defunct theovershield.com. Still has a YouTube, the Overshield HQ. Has some popular videos. That's where Connor got his start. I think I want to say that's where he got his real start on YouTube, like making for like really produced videos. I don't know if that's correct.
I had several videos that have like tens of thousands of views of just me opening Yu-Gi-Oh packs.
That's fair. You have
and playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
For whatever reason.
I had a legit Yu-Gi-Oh channel going on, but then my house burned down and my whole collection was gone, and it was kind of like, I don't really have Yu-Gi-Oh cards anymore.
Yeah. I will say your reviews on the Overshield just did really well.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, all of them.
Yeah.
Like the minimum, like
did
that
any
channel,
of them do as well as the mic review on Ubercrit?
More.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, some of them have like
30 to 50,000 views.
I think the what was that?
Your Qbert video did really well.
Yeah, it was like I think one of them had like close to like 100,000 if not more.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty
so
good.
like if his review, and he's doing the exact same kind of reviews that were on Ubercrit, but worse because he just started.
Yeah, exactly.
But like minimum, and I know this isn't a huge threshold, but minimum, most of his reviews at least got 500 views. Which on Ubercrit is like, wow, we got 500 views on that video.
No.
That's how I am.
Well, okay, yeah, that happens, but it's only surprising because it's like, wow, that video managed to get that much.
That's
yeah,
right.
Because like I'm like that mic review, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that thing's at like 40,000 views now.
Yeah.
I would really like to know why the first part of my Super Mario RPG got like 1,100 views.
Yeah, that one blew up out of nowhere. I was surprised, and then I was like, wow, I wonder if the rest of it's gonna do that well. No.
Meridian New World has 17K on that.
Okay, that's nice.
So one of your old ones from
This is from Overshield.
Overshield, yeah.
Yeah. Qbert has 10K.
Okay. So not as much as the Mike video, but a lot of his reviews were consistent like
So
that.
if you want to be successful on YouTube, buy a shitty product and give the lowdown on it.
Yeah. Yeah, go on Amazon.
Find the cheapest thing of anything that might be useful.
Find the cheapest but like decently quality looking thing, and then make a review of that.
I think Jimmy just recently bought one of those kits.
Oh yeah,
for his stream setup. Yeah,
I should review the one that I ended up buying as well because it's arguably better.
Oh yeah,
it came with the arm and everything with it. Yeah, and I see one thing too is the reason why I haven't reviewed it or my keyboard is because I was giving it a long haul review. I was like, there's plenty of people that just make reviews like they bought it and then that week they make the review.
Right.
It's like my keyboard, I've had it for almost a year now, I think, or I've just had it now for a year. And it has been a team player. There's nothing wrong with it. I spilled canned peaches on it once. Took all the yeah. So
were you just eating canned peaches?
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened was I was eating canned peaches, and I have one of those under desk like pull out drawer like tabletop things. That's supposed to be where you put your keyboard. And that's what I did. I had my keyboard there. But I pulled it. It hit my mic cable. My mic cable wrapped around something and then pulled another thing, which pushed the canned peaches off of my table onto the the keyboard thingy. And thus, peaches spilled all into it and on my lap and in my chair.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I had to take all the keycaps off. I wiped it down. It still works perfectly fine. So, I mean, that's a testament for a good, cheap keyboard. It's mechanical.
But yeah, so
I need a new
you're having
keyboard.
Corey Smith coming on for the second half. He's going to be doing an old segment on the Pixels and Bits podcast that I was a part of called People Doing Stupid Shit.
Wonderful.
Look at
And
that.
he's going to be bringing that back for the second half. And then we're just going to be talking to him about what he's been up to since leaving the internet.
Cool dope.
And during this first half,
Watching a lot of soccer?
probably, that sounds about right for him. And working at a bank. Oh no, I'm stealing his content.
Banksy. People call him Banksy.
Banksy?
Do you not actually know who Banksy is?
No.
Oh,
You don't?
wow.
No.
Wow.
Who's that?
He's a pop artist, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You have never seen look up Banksy
Never seen
not on
it.
not on YouTube. He's kind of anonymous, actually. Just look up like Banksy art.
He's
I guess.
anonymous, but you should know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah, his
No,
art's
absolutely.
infamous. Yeah, like it's all like it's,
He's. Have you ever seen like the guy? It's like a rioter, and he's got a bundle of flowers or a bouquet of flowers, and it's like on fire on the end, like he's throwing a Molotov.
No.
No, there's that little girl with the balloon. Balloon girl. See that one? No.
I saw
Go to
it.
images. His images are like super fucking iconic.
No. That's cool.
Yeah.
Queen of England with the
Bowie-
David Bowie
Yeah.
lightning over her face. No, I've never seen these before.
Wow.
man, you weird.
Then again, I don't look at art.
Uh,
So, like,
you're not autistic.
I mean, I am autistic, but no, I never look. Like, the only time I look at art is if I'm really into a game and I go on DeviantArt and see if anyone's made cool fan art. That's literally it.
Not an artist.
No, not in that respect. I listen to music, but that's
Right.
even arguable.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, so we went to Orcon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we actually had a thing to talk about.
We do. We need to talk about all of the things that we played,
It was fun.
did, and
Things, not people.
yeah, no, definitely things. I didn't do any people. I did leave Connor on his own for like an hour. No,
Well-
Miguel,
What? Aw.
All right.
you're not a people.
So which game
You're
should
a
we talk
person.
about first?
Well, I figured what we could do is we could just go on a thing by thing basis,
Thing
and we'll
by
just
thing
start
basis.
from the beginning of what we did at the con, and then as we hit the points,
Took pictures of an amethyst crystal.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, when you walk into the hotel, there's just a gigantic
the-
amethyst crystal.
LA Airport Hilton.
Yes.
Which is first, I guess what we should say is Strategicon and Orcon is a gigantic. Well, it's,
Orcon is an event
It's pretty good
that
size.
is hosted by Strategicon.
yes, and it is all tabletop art, like board games, basically, and LARPing.
It's small enough that it can be hosted in a hotel, but not small enough to be hosted on one floor.
Exactly,
Yeah.
3 floors.
Yeah.
To be exact, there are video games there.
I think it's definitely appropriate to have it in a hotel like that rather than because I feel like a convention center, the way that the place is set up, might get a little like weird without because some like how they have the separate rooms.
It was
for
good to
certain
separate
events.
things like that. Yeah, if you put it in a convention center hall, sure you could easily fit it all in one hall,
Yeah,
but it would get like muddy, I guess.
yeah, and there'd
Yep.
be a lot of noise echo going on.
Yeah,
even more, and it was already a noisy
Yeah.
convention.
Especially the was it not the war room? Was it the
Not
one,
the- well, the
what
war-
was the one downstairs where
Oh, the
one where we played
sales
Infinity.
hall. The sales hall. Anyway, so after taking the picture of the gigantic amethyst, which Connor was really excited about, and Miguel was like, "It's a rock." That's
no, no, it's a mineral.
like
Yeah.
that's fair, but you just looked at it. You're just like, "Yeah, it's an amethyst. So what?"
Yeah.
And Connor was like, "Holy shit! I need to take a picture of this right now." And he put his hand next to it. And he goes, "Look how big this thing is."
yeah.
I wish I could like dick joke. I'm just insert dick joke there.
Oh. I thought you were gonna be like, I wish I could have child innocence like that still. But speaking
Kinda,
of that,
yeah.
that just reminds me of the whole Sales of Glory game.
That's
Glory. That's last. That's
like
literally
literally
last.
the last thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
getting ahead of
the
myself.
So we got our badges. Cool. The very first thing we play after looking around a bit is this game called the Genius Game.
Mm-hmm.
So Connor, you were in it a lot longer than me. So
Yeah, 2
how about
rounds
you?
longer.
How about you explain what is the Genius Game?
So the Genius Game, in a nutshell, actually, it was first of all, it was run by this group called House of AJ, which is a cool guy who runs tabletop games, party game nights, video games, all that stuff from his house. He lives in LA. It's like an exclusive club, kind of. They basically invite certain people in, like make friends with them at the con. He would probably invite you to be like a member. And they had what was called the Genius Game, which was a series of mind games, basically, to be played with a group of people. They got the idea from a Korean game show. And we had these little things called garnets. Those were our points that we accrued over multiple games. And then...
Awful lot of Steven Universe in here.
Yeah, right. Garnet and fucking amethyst. But yeah, you collect the garnets, and those are your points that go from round to round. And then in each round itself, you get points for that specific game. Whoever, then you choose winners each round, carries over, all that cool stuff. And the ones that we played were, what was the first one called? It wasn't just because there was the commoner, the
noble,
and
the
it wasn't called a thief.
no, it was
But,
the bad guy.
Yeah, but the way it worked is that if commoner, like you had a card
Convict.
Convict, that's what it was. I think the game was just called Convict.
Yeah.
Anyways, you had Convict, Commoner, Noble, and the point is that it was written in invisible ink, and you had to speak with people and do trades. If you traded your card with another commoner, it would do nothing. You would get 0 points. But if you were a noble and you gave you gave the noble card to a commoner, you'd get a point. If you were the convict and you gave it to a commoner, boom, you get 2 points. The person who has the convict card at the end of the game loses. And the whole point is to try to convince people to do these trades with you, because the idea is, okay, you give me that card, then it's like, you'll get a point right now, but I can secure a point next time. And then the whole point is to try to lie about being the convict. But at the beginning, it's not such a big deal, because if you trade convict card at the very beginning, then it's like, the person's like, okay, whatever, I can definitely get rid of this. But if you trade for the convict card towards the end, you're stuck with the convict card.
Yep. And then you have to fight to the death
Yes.
by playing a really much more simple board game.
Yeah, at the end of each round, whoever was the loser, they had a death match round so the winner would get a sash of security. They were ineligible for the death battle, and they would choose one other person out of the group to have a safety sash as well. And then from there, the loser picks an opponent after the safety sashes are given. The first one we played was Gone Fishing, that little the little electric game where it spins around in circles and the fish pop up and you have the little fishing pole.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Okay.
They're little magnets, and
these ones didn't use magnets actually. They were just the
really?
ones that clamp, and it had like teeth on it and everything that like grabbed it. So it was a bit harder than the magnet one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next game we played was Zombie, and that was interesting. That's the one where Andrew lost.
That is. I got eliminated
Go
by
ahead.
backwards Jenga.
Since you ended up losing the death battle on that one, go ahead and explain what Zombie was.
So Zombie is a game where 8 people are humans, 2 people are zombies, and the object of the 2 zombies is to make everybody else a zombie. You can only become a zombie by touching hands with another person. No one knows if they're a zombie other than the 2 original zombies until the end of the game.
End of each round. Well,
in between
yeah.
each round, they will see, oh, well, at the end of this round, there's 4 zombies and 6 humans, but you don't know if you're a zombie at that point. So the whole idea is to not be a zombie, and they gave everyone a cure, which was a delicious Coca-Cola that you could take and say, I'm not a zombie, or I'm cured of the zombiness. And
you had 1 per 3 rounds.
Exactly.
So.
And there were alliances made, and I ended up getting chosen to be death battled against and lost at this Jenga that was build Jenga. So
Yeah, it's reverse Jenga.
So there were like these little pieces that you clipped on to this circle, and you just built them up kind of like Lincoln Logs. And if any one of the pieces fell off, you lost.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to build it shitty to sabotage your opponent.
Right.
And I was trying to do that, and I lost, but everyone kept saying like, "Oh, why is he doing that?" I'm like, because we're getting later into the game, and I need to make it harder for my opponent. But I done goofed.
Well, AJ was giving you a bit of a wink is the point, because he was telling you, "Ooh, why are you doing that?" You know, because you physically cannot hang a second one off of another.
Oh,
Because it's the way that they're designed. So he was trying to give you a little bit of like a DM wink, like, "Oh, you don't want to do that."
I didn't know.
And then you just went with it, and then that's why it fell instantly.
That's fine, but that was we don't need to talk about it anymore. You guys kind of get the idea.
It's fun.
Of the Genius game.
But
It
then
was
we
like-
had horse racing when you were gone.
yeah.
And it was really fun because it was everyone got a hint, and you have to the deal is to try to share hints with everyone
Let's
to
pause.
get to choose the proper winner of the horse race. And what ends up happening is people get the wrong hints, or you don't want to share it with everyone because not everyone wants to win. Because what the point is the fewer bets on a horse meant that one would pay out more. But you didn't want to just put it on the losing horse, so you had to find out which one was right, but try to convince everyone that was not the right horse. And that's exactly what happened, because the guy who ended up winning, he was almost the only person who bet on the winning horse. And it just happened to be the guy who had extra tokens, and he was able to, buy an extra hint that no one else had. And it worked out in his favor when he combined it with all the ones that we shared. What are you making faces over there?
The Google Chrome on the computer over here has been running really slow lately. And so I was like, "Oh, I'll open up Internet Explorer."
That was
they updated Explorer to
Microsoft Edge.
Microsoft Edge, right? And
the same thing.
every time I go and I download Chrome on a fresh computer, it's like Edge is faster than Chrome, but I don't believe it. And I just opened it right now, and it took a while just to upload MSN.com. But I was like, "Oh, well, this isn't Microsoft Edge. This computer has not been updated. It still says Internet Explorer."
Oh, look at that.
But in any case, I actually don't remember the game we played after that.
Oh, after that, you don't
After
remember?
House of AJ.
Well, we walked on down. We actually, I believe it was because we went and we walked around the whole convention, looked at more stuff, and then we actually ended up playing Filibuster.
Ooh,
Yeah, which was
Filibuster.
was very fun.
Best, most favoritist game of the show.
We didn't get to play it. I want to pull it up real quick though, is because there was a game that looked really cool. I took the name down. It's Call Me Unbound, and it looked really fucking cool. And it's like a
You didn't mention that one on Sunday.
no, I didn't. Well, I did mention it to you actually. But like it was downstairs and everything, and I kept telling Andrew like, "Hey, maybe we should go see."
Oh,
if that
you did
game's
say
still
there was
there."
something you wanted to play, yeah. But you didn't tell me about it.
It looks really cool though. It's like a samurai fighting tabletop.
Oh,
yeah, I think
yeah,
I
you
remember.
mentioned it.
I remember you mentioning it,
Yeah,
but I
you were
don't
like that samurai
remember
game.
much about it.
Yeah, it's just got sweet miniatures though. Like freaking, especially the dragon. It's just like, whoa, dude, that thing looks so cool. And it's a game we didn't get to play, but I'm definitely anticipating. That's the thing I want to say though. Is like we were there for 2 days. There's like I feel like we almost didn't even do like 10% of it.
Yeah, that's fair. There was so much tabletop that we were only there for 2 days. Miguel's only there for one.
Right.
We got 5 games down in that one day.
Yeah, but it's
and
just
one
like,
of them lasted 5 hours. But
That's true.
so much
again,
fun.
we will get to that.
But so my point is though, like just talking general how the convention is, because that's pretty much what we did right here. Because we'll get into Filibuster, but like the real meat of the thing is that for a big chunk of that day we were walking around checking out the con, and like wow, there are just so many games here. Like if you have not been to one of the Strategicon events, like just do it, because
It's really well priced too.
yeah, and
For a weekend, it's only $55.
Yeah, and you can just play and play. Like, if you're not looking for, like, if you don't care about deals and you're not looking to buy, you just want to play. Oh shit, there's
Worth
tons that you can do. And like the fact that they had ongoing events too, like we'll get into the Pathfinder like experience.
Oh, Jesus.
But that was an actual Pathfinder Society event that you could go to, and it'd be part of the story that you'd be playing and whatnot. So it's really cool and definitely warrants repeated visits because not only are there going to be new games out, but there's just a ton of games that you didn't get a chance to play yet.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, as you were saying earlier, the next game we played was Filibuster by Biplane Games, made by a really nice guy named Dan. And I feel like this is a time when I'm going to pass it over to Miguel to explain what it is, because you were there for only half of it, and this is one of the few games where I can be like, yeah, this is a thing that you did. So
it wasn't there. Oh yeah, half of the event.
Yeah, half of the event.
And he also got thrown in and played a full game of this, which was a lot more serious of a game than we played the first day. And even the creator himself was like, "This is an insane game."
Yeah. So Miguel, why don't you go ahead and, in the best way you can, explain what Filibuster is?
Okay.
And
if you don't know what a filibuster is, it's a government tactic. Or I shouldn't say government. It's a tactic that congressmen. Is it congressman?
Yeah, anyone in like a speaking role to where.
Yeah, but there's a specific branch where it's applicable, where you can do this.
Senate.
It's the Senate. Okay, where senators will go up and speak about something, whether or not relevant to a certain bill that they are trying to get to not pass, which they are able to do if it takes a certain amount of time to decide on it. So they'll, if nobody can like argue or take up time, they'll pass the bill because why not? So the objective of this game is to filibuster 7 bills of increasing time limits. So
Yes.
you have certain actions that take up a certain amount of hours, and you're supposed to work with your fellow senators, of which you are the minority party in this government concept, this concepted government thing.
Yeah, either way.
Anyway, yeah. And so the game will start off is like 6 hours?
Yeah, it goes 6 and then
6,
9, 12, 15.
12, 15. Yeah, it's okay, increments of 3, I think. It's increments of 3 hours every time.
Yep.
And there's a card, or there's a deck called the Time Deck, I think, which you every time the head of your your party is up to speak, who you all vote for at the beginning of a round based on information that they give you. So you're dealt out a hand, and you're able to tell your fellow senators, I have this many playable cards, or whatever you want to say, and people will have to agree on a senator. Otherwise, what happens? We never let that happen.
If what?
If you let the timer run out, like if you do not decide on a
on a new leader?
Yeah.
So if the time runs out, you don't all of us, the people, okay. So the 3 people who weren't the leader completely get rid of their hands for the next turn, and
leader.
the leader loses 75% of their influence.
Okay.
I remember it's something along those lines.
Okay. So yeah, if you don't decide, bad shit happens. But otherwise, you get to pick somebody who is the speaker for this round. And what they will have to do is they have to play only action cards. They cannot play assist cards. There are 2 cards, action cards and assist cards. Assist cards are cards that supporting speakers, not speakers, but senators can play, which is everyone that's not the elected speaker. And when you pass an action card to the speaker as your move for the turn, you gain the influence that is on that card, which is the amount of time that it deals, or that it passes in the round. So once you have met the amount necessary to filibuster a bill, you must then survive the rest of your filibuster, which you can either vote to end the filibuster immediately and take half of the influence for the speaker, or you can take your chances and keep drawing time cards until a time card ends the filibuster. Yeah. And you must do this 7 times. If you succeed, you get a benefit for the next round or for the game. Like you might just get influence.
Yeah.
Or if you fail, you will suffer penalties for the next round. So sometimes one will say, like, you must pay an influence to play or pass any cards. I don't think we got any of the other
No, I don't.
benefits, right? That were.
I'm not
lasting.
sure, but anyway, you win 4 out of the 7, and you win. If you
Yeah.
lose 4 out of the 7,
Oh,
everyone loses.
Yes, you must filibuster a majority
Yes,
of the bills.
Yeah.
exactly.
seven, so
And there's either one winner or everyone loses.
Right.
And what I will say about filibuster, like, it's probably the best game I've played in terms of like actual kind of co-op. Like, you actually have to work together, but you're also trying to win by yourself. And I don't think any other game has quite succeeded in doing that as well as filibuster has.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been. You just haven't played them.
That's fair.
There's so many fucking tabletop games.
There's so many games.
That's fair. But I will say filibuster also had a really cute art style. Like the
I
way
loved the art and
Like-
the humor.
exactly. If you haven't been hiding under a rock within the last year of politics, you will find this game very funny.
Yeah.
And what I will say is I went on to buyplanegames.com and Filibuster is going through some changes. Apparently, after receiving feedback, they are changing the voting system, which was Miguel's one thing that he said that needed to be improved. They're adding more cards and they're changing rewards and setbacks.
Nearing content completion. Oh boy.
So Filibuster is a really fun game. It was probably
One of us is going to have to pick it up at least.
Well, Dan got back to me and he said that he's going to be sending us a free copy.
What?
That's very cool.
Oh my god.
He's sending us a free press copy when they
yeah.
finally get them printed.
Dude,
What
that's
a
awesome.
badass.
But what I will say is that
I wanna
everyone
buy one
needs to
anyway.
go buy it because it's only $20.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's one of those games that is not too complicated to where you could play with your buddies who aren't really into tabletop, but it has enough depth that
Yeah, it's
It's
a
fun.
game,
It'd be a party game.
It's definitely a game that you could actually bust out and play with
Aha.
just people who
filibust.
yeah, filibust. It's one of those games that you can actually just bust out though and play with people who have only played board games and they have no tabletop RPG experience or whatever. So I think in that regard, and it's complex enough that people who play tabletop games on the regular will enjoy. So
I like their profile pictures. Andrew's on their website, and the artist for the cards also drew little portraits of them of the three designers.
oh, cool.
go buy when it comes out. Go buy Filibuster, only $20.
Absolutely, yeah. I figure if we're getting that free press copy, that'll just be for like our circle. I'm gonna probably buy myself a copy
for
and play
your
with other friends.
friend circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I will move on from there is I don't know if this is the next thing we did, but I know it was right around then. Is the flea market
Oh yeah.
where you and I
Really
we went
got some
hard and got like a
scores.
really good deal.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and explain. So the flea market, what it is it's really just it's kind of like a flea market / swap meet. You know, it's just people come and sell collections is really what it's going for. There was a couple people that were actual vendors, like they owned game shops and they were getting rid of their excess stock and whatnot. But the majority of the people there were just people that were like, yeah, I've got so many games in my garage and I just need to get rid of them. And my wife was like, hey, you need to get rid of like half of these at least. And from that, it was I ended up getting Doom. That was my big hit, the board game for $30, which is normally 80 plus. And then we also got, what was it, like it was like 9 or 10 games for $40.
Yeah, split between it was 20 for
I
me,
think it
20
was
for you.
7 games, because when you were divvying them up at your house, it was like
There was a lot of smaller ones, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah.
But we got some games in that bundle that had to be worth more than what he was selling them for.
Yeah.
Like Ascension, the deck building game.
Right. Which is, yeah, that's a, it's a super popular game. Like, Miguel was mentioning, he's like, oh shit, that's like one of the games that they
That's the deck building game.
deck building game, yeah. That like deck building games have now become very popular, you know. They you can it's almost its own genre that people could just talk about. And so getting that just in that deal, super sweet. So if you are someone who, you know, you're going to one of these Strategicon events,
Bring
and,
money.
yeah, just bring some cash. Like you might find something that you know really want or would like, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to just get Doom for $30.
No, that was a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
Like the minis by themselves make that worth it.
Yeah, it's 37 high quality miniatures. So, like when you buy a miniature by itself, they're normally $5 to $10 a piece.
It's
Yeah.
like the cheapest you can find this on Amazon. Secondhand is $65.
For
Yeah,
Doom.
Yeah, so you already saved half,
half
over half.
for a used version. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's like a legit flea market too, because you can like
you can haggle and
Exactly.
make deals and everything. Like that's what we did with our bundle.
yeah. And what's really cool is that gentleman. I've gotten confirmation from him. And this is a cool announcement I'm going to make.
go ahead.
Once a month, the owner behind that storefront who made us that really cool deal is going to be coming into studio with us, and he's going to bring a board game with him.
Oh,
And we
cool.
are going to play said board game live over the air.
Nice.
And he is going to become an honorary member of the Kinda Gaming Show.
Yeah.
Once per month, it's just gonna be board game. Because
Where's he based?
Irvine.
Irvine? Damn, he's going to come all the way out here?
Yep.
Well, cool of him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna bring one board game every month, and he's also gonna be pimping out the Kinda Gaming Show on their website, along with promoting all of our shows. And we're gonna be doing the same for his storefront.
Ah.
So
Cool shit.
very cool. I would give you the name of the storefront, but my my internet wasn't working. So CJ Rowley is the one who's going to be doing it. He is the head of Unrivaled Games, and we look forward to having him on. Just,
definitely.
For the least, like just to play some really kick-ass board
We'll
games.
do our best to make it radio friendly gaming, but as far as the YouTube cameras, that'll be the way to see the board in action and whatnot.
Yep. I know. I don't know if it's for sure, but I think he said the first game he's going to be bringing for us to play is Mega Man, the board game.
What? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking about Capcom, we got Street Fighter the board game as well.
Yeah, that was. I got
It was a deck building game.
I got that deck building game for $25. Came with an expansion of
just
a
a
random
game
game
you do not have.
Yeah, exactly. But I just wanted to get something else in there for spending $25 on one game when I spent 20 and got like four.
Yeah.
But I really like Street Fighter, and I was just like, I want this.
That dude was really willing too. He was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't that the guy who actually mentioned about his wife telling him to get rid of everything?
I think so.
I think that was the guy who was like, yeah, as long as he's like, my wife was wanting me to get rid of at least 2 boxes. Like he had huge fucking those giant Tupperware boxes of games.
Yeah. So also, we got a really good deal on Ascension because we paid $5 basically for it, and it's minimum 40.
There you go. Fucking rad.
Anyway, so
Is that the version? That looks like a different. Oh, there it is. No, I don't know.
anyway, most of these are $40 on their website.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Expansions.
Exactly. So good deals aplenty. I don't even like. There was so much that we did. We had a lot of Carl's Jr.
There was also a lot of cool handmade goods that people were doing. Like,
Oh yeah, people had like those chainmail pouches.
yeah, and this one lady.
There it is.
I'll have all the details on it on the video that we make for the whole con, which is it's gonna be up at some point. we'll put it that way. At some point soon enough. And it was pretty cool though, because they're made of leather and they can hold your dice, they can hold your character sheet, pens, pencils, all that stuff. But the cool bit about it was that instead of just being a tube, when you take it apart, you can actually snap it together and it's a dice tray. So you don't have to worry about your dice flying across the table off the edge, or if you have metal dice like myself, denting
Beating your
your
table.
buddy's table up. Yeah. So
Yeah, not too many people. People throw dice a lot of different ways. Yeah, fuck it. Too many people throw their dice really aggressively.
That's
That's nice.
I just drop mine.
Same.
I
spin my hand to give them a lot of like spin, and I drop them straight down.
You know, I was influenced by Duke Devlin from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Jeez.
He did the Dungeon Dice Monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was like a spin-off of Yu-Gi-Oh, and like he would throw his dice just like an anime character. It's like, ah! So now when I throw my dice, I don't do it like that, obviously, but like in my head, I'm like, let's fucking Yu-Gi-Oh this shit. I don't know. I throw my dice really hard.
I'm not a fan
Of Yu-Gi-Oh?
of people throwing their dice like that.
I understand. Like, especially like, okay, if it's a regular D20, and it doesn't go off the table, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I understand why you get annoyed, but like if you have metal dice, like Connor's, and you do that, not kosher.
Right.
Like not okay.
We play on a poker table for a lot of games, and that's really nice because it's got the felt top.
Yeah. Like if you want to throw your dice a little hard on there, as long as it's not constantly going off the table, fine. Whatever you gotta do to help you sleep at night.
That's another thing about the table. It's got those like cushions, the arm cushions around
Yeah.
it. So dice cannot, like, unless you're like really throwing your dice, like you're trying to fucking pitch a softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It prevents falling off the table, and it prevents just dents and everything. And then it's got drink holders.
Other than size, it's a very good table for games.
Yeah, it's a little small. Well, it's funny because it's not necessarily small. It's just narrow.
Right. Yeah. If there's only like up to like 4 people playing, it's very roomy.
Yeah.
All right, so we have like 20 minutes left. There's so much to talk about Orcon. So I'm really quickly, the last thing we did on the first day is we signed up and played Dungeons and Dragons.
Pathfinder.
Well, isn't that,
You keep calling-
isn't
no,
it D&D
they're not-
Pathfinder?
They're
No.
they're not the same at all. It's completely
Is it the same company?
no. Dungeons and Dragons is Wizards of the Coast. Pathfinder is Paizo. Paizo was one of the producers of Orcon. They actually
that's cool.
They actually are one of the heavy backers for putting on the event.
Why did I think?
So don't get
I
them
thought
mixed up.
I mean, I don't.
Well, because
really
Pathfinder,
care, but-
what do you mean you don't really care? They put the fucking event on. They're worthy of distinguishing the difference. So the thing is, there was Dungeons & Dragons is currently in its 5th iteration. There's 5e is what everyone calls it, and there was the original D&D. Then there's Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and there's 2nd edition, and then it goes
Yeah,
on.
I know.
And then 3.5. That was the big divulge.
that's what I've heard.
So when 3.5 happened, it got very complex. It had like so many intricacies and whatnot that a lot of people said this is too much. So D&D 4th edition came out, and it was like the most watered down version of D&D ever. The people said it felt like like it was trying to be a video game on paper. You had cards that like denoted what you did, and it was so cookie cutter out of like a video game aspect. It's not bad. I'm not going to knock because I do play it, but it definitely really goes away from the RPG aspect. There's not a lot of role playing going on. It's more of just here's your moves, do this. And what Paizo did was they created Pathfinder, which is basically a modification of 3.5 to the point that it's still very intricate, but playable and comfortable is what everyone says that Pathfinder is what 4th edition should have been. So, and it's a completely different company. They have lore, comic books, an actual ongoing story. They've been doing the Pathfinder Society for 9 years now. So when we actually got a pamphlet that says,
To be clear, Dungeons and Dragons has all that too, but they're separate.
yeah, they're completely separate. But the thing about Dungeons and Dragons too is they have changed lores. I mean, they got like the Legend of Drizzt and all that stuff. Most of the stuff written by R.A. Salvatore.
Yeah, it's like
you know what?
fifth
It's
has a whole
it's
running.
funny because I called Pathfinder D&D at the Pathfinders event, and no one corrected me.
Or they didn't hear you.
I
or-
did every time you said it.
Yeah.
No, actually, at the event, I
know.
called it. Like even the gentleman next to me, who, to be fair, was helping me. Like he didn't correct me.
He also knew that you were like super
Really
new.
new. Yeah. But anyway, so I got thrown into a Pathfinder event, and I've never played before. I've only played once, and it was a long time ago. And I'm level 1, or I'm supposed to be, and I'm getting thrown into this combat scenario that I have
Wait-
no idea what my character does. I don't really know what most of his abilities do and all these other things. And then they're like, oh, you're level 1. You're not supposed to be level 1. Here you
supposed to
go.
be
Here's a
level
level 4 character. So now I'm even more confused, and I have a badger now for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm doing, and it got really bad.
So
I did not. It was fun, but
here's the funny
I really
thing.
didn't enjoy myself much.
Well, yeah, I get that because you were so confused. I was having a good time, but like aside from being like, okay, I had to lean over and help you again, and it was like I didn't realize that you've never played a tabletop RPG, and because you confused tabletop RPG with like just general tabletop gaming, because you were like, well, I've played Warhammer, and I'm like, that's not a tabletop RPG, that's a war game. It's completely different.
This is gonna sound really bad, and I fully realize this when I say that, but like the mechanics behind like Pathfinder is
Are
so similar
not
to me
similar
than
at
all
all.
these other things. Yeah, they are. Like
That's
they
like-
have the same
that's-
stats and
that's
they
like
have
saying-
the same role mechanics.
I think people would argue that Warhammer is a role playing game, though.
Thank you.
It's a war game though. Like it's multiple. You don't act out your actions and stuff. You command a field, an army, and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Well, that's only in
But it's
base
like you
Warhammer.
build your.
Yeah, but that's like saying like Shogun is like Skyrim.
No, I'm not saying that it's like D&D or anything. I'm just saying like it's arguable that Warhammer is an RPG.
It has RPG elements.
It's
in
just
it.
that you don't role play a character,
Right.
Because the whole point of
Well,
it-
sort of.
Yeah, you do. You
You're-
role play
you're
whatever
general,
whatever
but-
person you make or paint. Painting's really big in Warhammer.
Yeah, it is actually. That's
Like
because,
painting the minis that
That's-
aren't fucking mini at all.
That's because they're miniature compared to what they would be in real scale.
I mean, that's fair, but like you think of it, it's like 1/100th of the real size, and the motherfucker is still like 2 feet tall.
That's extremely rare, though.
You
There are only like a handful of pieces that are that big, though.
yeah,
And if you're playing in those, you're playing with like $5,000 armies and shit.
yeah.
Warhammer is one of those games I've always really wanted to get like deep into, but I've
Same.
never
My-
had enough money
My
to.
point, though, what I was getting at is like in Shogun Total War, you play a Shogun, and you build your troops, and you choose their stats and everything. And it's like, yeah, you could say you're role playing as that Shogun, but it's nowhere near like playing an RPG.
Yeah, but you level up in Warhammer.
You level up in Shogun.
yeah,
You
but it's
level up in
different.
you level up in Civilization.
Yeah, but you still have the same stats that you do in Pathfinder. Like, there may not be exactly the same, but you still have like hit chances, and you still have.
You don't have charisma,
What was that?
charisma,
I
or bluff checks.
you do have
And
bluff checks, I
and
think.
thievery.
No, you don't have thievery, but it's like just because it doesn't have all of
My
the
point-
options doesn't mean it's not an RPG.
It's not a singular RPG. Is my point. But that's the thing. You have not played those games. They're completely different. They're very much different. That's why you were so confused.
Well, I was just confused because there's in Pathfinder and D&D, because I've played D&D before, there's a lot of keywords that I just didn't have access. Like, it would be fine if I had a
asked
little
you if you
booklet.
played D&D, and you said you didn't.
No, I've played D&D before.
You said you haven't played real D&D,
That's fair.
which you've played. Yeah, you've played like spin-offs that people have played just with here's some dice, let's play a game.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
you never had a
there's-
character sheet.
I mean, I've built characters.
You've never opened up an official book and built a character.
No, because I've never wanted to, because they're so limiting.
No, they're not.
They're not.
I want to be a rock gnome.
You've never-
No one lets me be a rock gnome.
That's you. Have
I guess if that's your point, then they're limiting.
Or I wanted to
but
be a fucking walrus shaman. No one lets me be a walrus shaman.
you'd be animal folk. Like there are rules for that, but people don't want to deal with it because you're probably, for one, you've never played. So like introducing mechanics that are homebrew is already odd. But yeah, you could do anything you want in those. It just has to be homebrewed.
there's a lot of
And there's
you would just substitute it. Basically, it'd be like, okay, you are. They would have to find their book that has the stats for like this beast person.
yeah,
type
they're
deal.
all there. It just has to be worked out.
Like my big thing, kind of that I've always, like, maybe it's just because the people I've been playing with, but I've always been told like D&D and Pathfinder are these games that you can do anything you want. But
can't.
anytime I ask to do anything I want, people aren't kosher with it. Like, it's like they're
a pain
limit-
in the ass. is
Yeah,
all.
but don't advertise I can do anything I want. And then anytime I play with anybody, they get pissy when I ask if I can do certain things, or when I do anything I want, it just does nothing. Like it's like anti what they're actually trying to sell.
Like I had a game where one of our friends played as a pineapple, and it worked. Like,
see, that's all I want.
I mean, you just have to see. You also have to remember this though. When you ask those kind of questions, what you're asking is, "Hey, can you just build shit for me right now?" Because the person running the game has to do all that shit for you, like the entire time you're playing.
Unless
If
you're
there was-
experienced.
And
If
if
there
it's
was-
a one-off, if it's just like you're not going to be playing with me ever again, like you're just some random guy.
If there was
Like
ever
at a-
a time to actively do something like that at a Pathfinder's event, at a tabletop convention, would be the time.
It's
No,
time
because he's
not.
literally there
No,
to help us.
Not at all. No, he's not. Like, did you remember? You don't remember the scenario we were in? We were fucking like this. We didn't even finish the fourth encounter. We had to cut it short, and it was like going to break. We'll start at the next bit. Normally, like what we did, it was like, what's your turn? What you doing? Let's do it. You're done. Okay, next. That's how we were playing there, because they were literally just tearing through the story.
I'm surprised you guys got to do anything about your characters at an event. You would expect them to just give you sheets of pre-made.
That's what they
Yeah,
did.
that's
They
what they did.
gave us pre-made
okay.
level 1s, but Andrew never looked over it. I assumed
I
that
did
he
look over it. Thank you.
not enough.
I don't know what the keywords are.
And you could have asked me. But that's my point. They expect you to go in there and play. That situation that we were in,
Well,
that was a Pathfinder society.
they also
and-
stuck us at a table that was level 4.
Not just that though. Like, even if they put us at level 1, that room that we went in was not meant for, oh, this is us introducing you to the game. That was meant for you. That was essentially, like, if you want to consider it, if that was Magic the Gathering, that was a tournament. That's what we went to. We went to a tournament for Pathfinder. There was an actual event. People have their characters. They have accounts. Like, it accrues points on an account. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's our DM
Yeah.
had explained that.
if we would have stayed there for another thing,
It
we would
was-
actually have started an account.
Whether or not it was good, and you say it's good. I honestly couldn't tell because I'm so inexperienced. Like, I would not want to do that again until I am more experienced. Like,
That's
That's
fair.
what-
I
it
didn't
seems like
realize
that's what
that
the
you,
event was for.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you've never played an actual game like that.
yeah, that it was not fun for me as someone. Like, I don't like doing. It's like, okay, so I have this problem when it comes with gaming in general, where I don't want to do things for fun very often. Like, if there's any sort of competitiveness to it or like dependency on other people, it gets me pissed off. Like, that's why Overwatch pisses me off. Hearthstone pisses me off. MLB pisses me off. And I'm not even playing against real people there. I just I need to be good at something, and it bothers me when I'm not. And that's why that whole situation was just frustrating, because I was leaning on Calder so much. And Calder was the guy sitting next to me who was very nice.
He was a nice guy.
He was
Very
very
cool.
nice. He gave me his phone number, which to so we could play with over him and his group in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was Pathfinder. I don't want to skip over everything, but I know that there's a game that at least Connor really wants to talk about on the second day.
I really loved it.
We don't have that much time left, so
Yeah, we got about
the
5 minutes.
I mean, what is there to talk about?
in the second day, the very last game we played was a game I played the year before by myself. It was called Sales of Glory.
Yes.
Now, Connor, you explain, because you
So I looked it up.
love it.
I looked it up too. It was a few years ago. It was like a Kickstarter event and everything in 2013, I want to say is what it said. And
5 years ago now.
yeah, right. And so you are a commander, captain, whatever you want to call it, of a ship, and you're on a team versus another set of people. Like, we were the French and we were versus the British. And the coolest thing about it is that you plan your turns ahead of time before it all happens, and everyone else also plans their turns. So when the turn executes, it all sort of just goes. And you know that your movement for next turn has already been planned when you move. So if you see you're about to crash, there's a big chance that you'll crash.
Yep.
And I thought it was so great because we started the game off with Andrew and I literally about to just smash into each other on turn 3. Instantly, it was like, Andrew! Just
I mean,
That was both of us, not just me. We both made those decisions.
Well, see, here's the thing. I turned to go inward. You turned 90 degrees and we're at slow sails. You went against the wind instantly. I was like, all right, I'm going straight and I'm going to veer into the middle and have good wind so that I can have, nice turns and be able to move a lot. And then you instantly put yourself into near red.
well, but see, the thing about that is from there, he could turn more and get green and advance across.
We didn't hit
to-
each other, so that's
No.
the thing.
I know.
But you didn't actually explain the
But
rest
his-
of the game. You
His
just
tactic is pretty. His
I was
tactic-
still going, but
go ahead.
anyways, you work together. You choose your turns and all that stuff. You receive damage on your ships. Yeah, there's a couple of times where you can actually fix the damage. that occurs. All the mechanics about like actually board presence and the combat itself really changes things up to put a lot of strategy into it, honestly, to where it's a lot like chess in that sense, because you're always trying to think a turn ahead. And what I was mentioning earlier, though, about that the childhood fun innocence bit was that when I actually ended up getting third place in our little tournament that we did, or game. We didn't even know it was a tournament until like
afterwards. Yeah,
it was like
I should have known, because when I did it last year, it was the same thing.
It was like 30 minutes before it ended. And it was like, oh yeah, this is a tournament. And yeah, I ended up getting third place on it, and I was so happy that I got a ribbon.
It's a game that took 5 hours.
I mean, you say that like it's a weird thing, but that's pretty normal for tabletop gaming.
Yeah, we do D&D sessions, and we'll be fucking at the table for like 9 hours.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we've literally had D&D events go on for like 10 hours.
It's too long, man.
Actually, 12, I think, is the longest that I've done with you.
Did you?
I don't remember. I don't exactly keep tabs.
It
No,
might-
wait, actually, I think you're right.
Yeah, because like it was a time that we actually got together at 5 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And when I was like, all our characters were already made and we were playing, and we played and played and
It was
played.
like morning.
And it was fucking 5 a.m. when
Yeah.
we were finally finished.
Did you
That was
know
fun.
that the ships in Sails of Glory are 1/1000th of a real ship?
Of the size.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
That's what it says
On
right here. They're
1,000th
1/1000 scale.
Oh, that's interesting. I would think that they were not that small, because like when I look at Gundam and they're like, 1/144. And
Ships are fucking huge.
yeah.
Especially these ones.
Yeah, these are military ships on top of that.
That's true.
naval ships, I should
that's
say.
the big, yeah.
These,
Because I've seen wooden ships before, and they're like, yeah, it's a ship.
What I will say about
naval
Sails
ships.
of Glory and the whole experience is that it was helped that our game manager, Chuck, is
Yes.
amazing
He's
at his job.
Great guy. Yeah.
He's very helpful. He's like kind of like, I wouldn't say hard, but he like gets the rules across, and the way he does it is like almost in a story. And it was amazing. It's one of those games that I would love to buy. It's great, honestly.
He seemed pretty...
Passionate about it.
Yeah, but I was going to say, like, when people were getting things wrong, you could tell it bothered him.
He was like,
So whenever
you
I-
cannot do that.
Yeah, whenever I asked for help, I was like trying my hardest to like be like, okay, I understand that this is how this goes, but he would still be like, okay, I'm gonna lay this out. This is how it goes for you.
Yeah.
It was yeah.
Yeah.
We're running low on the time.
All right,
And
so,
we have to go to break.
Come back with us in the second half. We are going to be talking with Corey Smith from the Overshield HQ, and see you guys in about 5 minutes. Hey, Corey,
Yeah.
did you enjoy the Sonic music?
Actually, I kind of did.
Cool.
A little loud, but yeah, I kind of enjoyed it.
All right, we're going to be live again in like 30 seconds, so I'm going to go back to my actual seat and let the engineer sit here.
Okay. General rules. Like, am I limited in profanity or anything like that?
You liar. It was like a minute. What? Yeah, go ahead and get in there. I was telling Andrew's a liar. Hi, Corey. It's Connor.
What's up, Connor?
How you doing?
I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I got to get up in about 6 hours to go to work, but I'll be fine.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, we've got... Let's just go ahead and start the 30 seconds of silence.
Chaotic Radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
I'm Grizzly Gunsy Gamer, and you're listening to the Kinda Gaming Show. Ooh.
Welcome back to the Kinda Gaming Pixels and Bits show.
Did you say pixels and bitch?
Something felt very familiar about this.
The Pixels and Bits.
Oh,
Bits. We are joined now with special guest, CEO of the Overshield, Corey.
Hey, everybody. What's up?
hi.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I've been looking forward to stretching the old voice for the first time in about 2 years or so. I mean, it's been a while since we did anything, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, since I've done anything with you, absolutely. I left the Overshield probably 3 years ago now.
It's true, actually. Yeah, and then it was like me and Manny and Tommy for a while, and then actually, yeah, it's been close almost to 2 years since we put out an episode of Pixels and Bits.
Wow. I'm kind of depressed now.
It is a little sad, but unfortunately, just life catches up to you, and it was just one of those things where it's just like I had fun with it, and you know what? I'm enjoying my time being back here and doing this with you guys, and I much appreciate the offer, Andrew.
Yeah, I would say you're welcome anytime, but that's just not true. It's okay. We've almost had Adam Agro on for an episode. If we get on Tommy and Manny at some point, we'll have on the entire crew at different sections. So,
well, the trouble with Manny is that he lives 14 hours in the future. So
it's not that big of a problem. We had Grizzly Guernsey Gamer on, who
That's
is
8 hours.
Is he 8 hours? That's only 8 hours.
Yep.
Jesus.
GMT. So
We could make it work.
is it you said Manny? Is his
Yeah.
name? Is he in Australia?
yeah, Manny lives in Taiwan now, of all
Oh.
places.
Yeah, I think Australia is the
He
15th.
just randomly went up and left, and he's like, I'm going to be an English teacher, went and dropped 40 pounds, is now getting a girl and everything. It's just like, wow.
He's
This is
winning
a-
at life.
Pretty cool.
I mean, Manny basically got hooked to life like it was a drug.
That's
Never heard that
The
said
good
so
stuff,
badly.
man.
hooked to life.
Make it sound really terrible. when
Life?
It's the best it can be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I went there, and I'm just like, oh my God, this cheap food and amazing weather and beautiful women and, oh my God, free healthcare and like all this other beautiful stuff. It's just like, this is such a hard life, Manny. I'm so sorry.
When did he leave to Taiwan? 2 years ago, or about like a year and a half
yeah,
ago?
almost 2 years ago, actually. Yeah.
So he left.
And, he'd be returning to the States for the first time in about 6 weeks, actually. So
Wow.
look forward to perhaps seeing a video maybe pop up on the Overshield of us fulfilling a promise that we made on a Pixels and Bits episode. And that was, if The Last Guardian ever came out, me and Manny would have a spicy noodle eating challenge.
Oh boy, what eating challenge is that going to be?
Well,
Spicy
we have a
noodle challenge.
we have a restaurant in our hometown that serves like traditional Szechuan cuisine, and they make some really spicy stuff. I mean, legit like ow stuff, like Packy 1 chip stuff, hot. Like,
Oh, I did that on the show actually.
Yeah, we were counting down our top 5 original Xbox games,
Yep.
and Connor ate one of those chips before he said his #1 game, and it was hilarious.
So
I
passionate.
saw, and I was impressed, Connor,
Took
Like-
it down and
because I would have needed a whole glass of milk before I could even got my first word out.
yeah, speaking made it so much harder.
He's like, and I only cried for 5 minutes.
I really love, and I know I've said this before and you ate it, but I love that Daniel Bryan just completely no-sold the chip. He ate the hot chip, and he was just like, yeah, it's warm.
Like, I feel like I could have done that had I not been like, all right, I'm gonna now talk about Halo, because it was funny. Like, I felt fine. I was like, my #1 game is, and then it was just like I inhaled it, and I was like, combat evolved, and then it all went to shit from there. Because like as soon as I took that breath, the fucking chip, like the heat went into my lungs, basically.
Like the powder, like just got stuck in the back of your throat. And it's just,
Yeah,
like, the
and
worst-
that's
yeah.
where it all went downhill. It was like, oh yeah, this is hot. We're gonna be just fine. Because I chewed it for a bit. I was like, and then
No, it's like that moment as a
Those
kid
words.
where you're eating when you're trying flaming hot Cheetos for the first time. You're like, man, this shit's really good. You're like packing it down, and then you accidentally suck one down the back of your throat, and that Cheeto dust gets stuck on the back of your throat.
See, now, when you said that, Miguel made a face, and I would just like to explain, Corey is a white boy from Missouri.
Miguel doesn't do hot food at all.
Oh, yeah,
because he said when you're eating hot Cheetos and you're like, man, this is so good. Then I was like,
Oh, that's
Oh, that's what you made the face for.
yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, Miguel's a little bitch when it comes to hot.
That's
oh, yeah,
true.
absolutely.
Like black pepper makes it registers.
He's
as
like,
too
oh
hot.
man, this black pepper.
See, weirdly, I'm a bit of an oddity in Missouri because not that many people like really, really spicy shit. Like they can do some spice. They can go to a degree. But I like to take it to the next level sometimes, and that is like extremely off-putting to a lot of people I know.
Feel you. I totally feel you on that. I eat this chicken that just makes Miguel hate to look at it.
I don't like it being in my car. Fucking God.
That's how I am.
You can taste it just being in the vicinity of the chicken that I'm eating. Yeah.
That's how I am with buffalo sauce. I can't stand the smell of that shit. It literally makes me want to gag.
I don't like the smell of
Like I
most
just have a
spicy things.
gigantic cock in my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway.
Anyway, what
that
you
was
been
a way to
playing
put it.
lately, Corey?
Well, actually, before that,
oh,
before we get into all that kind of stuff, Corey has a segment he wants to bring up that is my favorite segment, your favorite segment, Connor. Everyone in the world's favorite segment.
It's time for people doing stupid shit. Hit the music.
Oh, they don't know what that means. Make noises with your mouth parts. All right.
That's how we did it.
What the fuck?
now what did the people do?
Oh, was that
Now,
not people
we got-
doing
we got
stupid
a-
shit?
We got a few stories.
Oh no.
here.
Okay, so hold on. As Miguel had no idea. So instead of having like actual theme music, I don't know if I was the one that started it, but I would like. No, nothing like that. We would just start making noises, and it turned into its own thing. Where if you go back and listen to Pixels and Bits episodes after a certain point, it's literally just all of us going.
Yeah,
I
at one
see.
point we actually just kind of like gave up on doing elaborate music transitions, and we just like ad-libbed them.
Exactly. Can you?
It was a beautiful thing.
All right. So what do you got for us, man?
Oh, I got a couple ones. First, out of Boston today, we had a trolley driver recently get fired from his job, And it's an interesting reason why, because here's the thing. He was on workers' comp. He was, disabled. Right. And because on the 30th, right the day before Halloween, he got attacked by a guy with a pumpkin mask on. Okay. Like pumpkin mask, like straight up like Halloween mask and shit. And punched him and then basically ripped him out of the trolley. Uh-huh. And it turns out that he actually paid the guy to punch him in the face and rip him out of the trolley so he could get the workers' comp and the disability insurance.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
So, lesson learned is if you really want that workers' comp, you just injure yourself, man. You don't pay someone else to do it.
There was so much of an easier way to do that. Like, I can imagine him just going with his buddies, like, all right, this is the plan. You're going to wear a pumpkin head, and you're going to meet me on this corner, and you're going to run in. Just punch me right as hard as you fucking can, and no one's gonna know why.
Right in the fucking gob.
Right, exactly.
Well, see, my idea would have been, for him, is just like, just take your foot and just put it in the trolley door and just slam that shit repeatedly. Just smash your foot to pieces and be like, oh god, the door malfunctioned when I was on the job, and I can't work anymore, and can I get workers' comp?
Yeah, but why wouldn't you move your foot after the first time?
Well, I mean, you wanted to make it look real bad enough, right, to get that workers' comp and the disability insurance.
Miguel is just like, he's just sitting here. He's not saying anything. He just has like a few fingers on his face, and he's shaking his head no repeatedly. Goes, this is stupid.
Why don't you just fall out of the trolley?
Yeah, there's
so many more efficient ways of doing that.
Well, he would have to said that a ghost possessed the trolley then.
Do you think the guy with the pumpkin, do you think these people like to play Rust? Like,
what?
Like he just put a pumpkin head on like in Rust. No,
because people who play Rust like to wave their dicks everywhere.
Well, I'm not denying that, but...
All right, what else you got, man?
All right, so in Sevilla, Spain, a group of teenagers were caught, about 5 of them were caught with over... And I'm going to accentuate this, 8,000 pounds of stolen oranges.
That's, wow.
I mean, I'm looking at the pictures here, and there's sedans and hatchbacks filled to the brim to where they're pouring out of the doors of just oranges.
Aside from that, I want to commend you for saying Sevilla, not Sevilla.
Well, I mean, I'm cultured like some people. I mean...
Yeah.
And over here.
But I just think it's just like, okay, out of all the things to steal of value, why oranges?
Maybe they didn't expect them to be, pursued over.
That no one would care.
Yeah,
they were like,
okay, we'll just steal all these oranges and sell them.
No.
Oh shit, boss! 8,000 pounds of oranges went missing. What are we gonna do? Ah, shit. Looks like I just have to pull some more.
How does one, like, 8,000 pounds of oranges? That is at least 20 oranges. Like, how many? How did they get away with this? Or no, they didn't, actually.
Yeah.
How did they, again, what thought process do you even have to go? Out of all the things to steal, why?
At what point was he like, hey, do you think we should stop getting more oranges? Do you think this is enough? And he was like, let's fill up another Prius.
Do they not have Sunny D where they come from? Is that did they just want?
They must have ran out of Florida Orange Man recently.
I don't, Connor and I are giggling a little bit at this, and I feel like this is just going to give Miguel an aneurysm.
I'm just sitting here wallowing.
You just did like the little the chubby kid on the playground laugh right there.
Oh, did I?
You were like, you got a little too antsy there.
Now, in a press conference, the city security spokesperson Juan Carlos Cabrera told the press that the arrests were important in not only thwarting the theft, but in also preserving food security of the possible consumers who would have these oranges.
Cabrera.
So, do we have more in the stupid shit people?
Yes, actually, and I think, you know what, I wouldn't claim this next one to say the stupid shit. I mean, it was good-natured. It's just that I don't think it was thought through. So, in China, and keep in mind, this story is actually a couple months old, but in Shanghai, China, as a flight from China Southern Aircraft was about to take off, an 80-year-old passenger, as she was boarding the plane, threw coins into the engine to wish it good luck.
Oh, fuck.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
So,
So who,
She admitted to the police that she had thrown the coins and she had prayed for safety.
oh boy.
So of course they took off, right? They couldn't waste that good luck.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm just
And what's the
like,
aftermath?
lady, I appreciate the thought, but I think you need the change more than the plane.
I think I feel like it'd be okay because birds get sucked into those things.
But it's metal.
That's yeah.
Birds will get chewed up a lot easier than metal coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, these weren't no fucking pennies. Those
I mean, guys, you're still throwing shit into a plane engine, which should just like not happen
Right.
at
Yeah.
all.
I really like the music that's going on right now.
Like an 8 bits.
No, don't do it.
Oh dear. If we had anyone listening to us, you just ruined it.
That's fine.
Why does this remind me of like Scott Pilgrim? I don't know why. With that music.
I think it's the
do a
the
little
quote
bit
unquote bass hit, like the.
I don't know. They do a little bit of 8-bit music in that movie.
No. And then last but not least, out of the UK. And
Wait,
this is not necessarily the stupidest thing this man's ever done, but it will teach him a lesson that he will never ever forget.
Can you say not least when it's stupid shit? Might be certainly least.
Police Constable Thomas Hooper was accused of theft after stealing biscuits from his colleagues' 2-tier tin of biscuits in the communal area, and then gave a false account saying that he did not steal the biscuits. After an investigation, he has been found guilty of fundamental lack of integrity.
Yeah, that's fair.
He stole the biscuits.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fuck
So,
that, dude.
in wrapping up, the most important lesson of the day is that if you see shit in the fridge at your work and it doesn't have your name on it, don't touch it, man.
Don't fucking take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what's
no.
funny? Is because biscuits, it's cookies. This is all over.
Oh yeah, it's England, huh?
It's England, so it's still cookies.
I was thinking like biscuits and gravy.
no, it's
Dude just stole 2 cookies.
He stole cookies.
He just
said he
stole
didn't
like
steal
2 Oreos, and this guy was
You know,
like, "This
maybe this was
bitch."
Bama.
Man.
I love biscuits.
No,
and
yeah,
gravy.
but no, I completely agree with that ruling.
Yeah,
if I were the guy
definitely.
in charge there, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Lack of integrity.
How
If you'll
many,
steal
how many did he
biscuits-
steal?
2, was it?
He took 2 biscuits.
2. So like Miguel, let's say you and I are living together, and you just have a box of Oreos. If I
Uh-huh.
eat 2 Oreos, like, how upset are you gonna be?
It depends. If I told you
I
it's okay
murder
to have
you.
Oreos, if I told you it's okay to have some of the Oreos, cool. If you ate like 2/3 of the Oreos,
No,
like-
literally 2 Oreos.
no, yeah, that's fine. If I told you you could have them, fine. If I didn't, be like, well, come on, man, ask first. And then if you took like 2/3 of the Oreos of my fucking tray of Oreos, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah. That fucking happened actually with Nate and me actually when we were living together. It was like, yeah, you can have. It's like you can have some, and then it was like of my Mountain Dew, and then it was like I was like I had 12. There are 3 in here.
My fucking dad would do that to me all the time. My dad, Billy? God, I would never. Okay, so the whole reason why I even got a mini fridge, because I never wanted one. Like a
Yeah.
mini fridge is just a thing I don't need in my life.
Right.
My dad, every fucking time I would get Mountain Dew or anything, he would drink it all.
Just all, yeah.
All of it.
Leave you one.
I would literally, like, I remember this because, like, you know how you see your memories on Facebook? I would post, like, 5 years ago, well, Dad drank all the Mountain Dew again.
and then Facebook was like, hey,
You know
remember
what? I
this?
think I distinctly remember seeing some of those
Yeah,
posts.
because at one point I said it, and I kept saying it, like, almost every other day, and my friends were getting more and more upset with my dad, to the point where my friend Adam Agro, or Adam,
Yeah.
he just posted, he's like, kick him in the fucking taint! Like... And my mom, especially at the time when I was younger, like she was not okay with cursing on my page. But even then, she was like, it's understandable.
Kick him in the
People
fucking
are upset
taint.
here.
Yeah, exact.
No, I remember because I cursed on one of your posts once, and your mother commented back saying to not use that language.
Oh wow.
That sounds right. The other like, I'm just gonna go on this small tangent.
How does your mom feel about this show? She hates it, right?
No, she likes it, but I told you, like, she listens to it on a regular basis. So,
Right.
okay, I'll tell you this story, Corey, because I still find it fucking hilarious. So, do you know who Magikarp Used Fly is on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who Magikarp? Have you heard the name?
I think I may have seen it crawl across my recommendation, but
He's a League of Legends.
enlighten me.
Okay, he's a League of Legends guy. He does a lot of other stuff too, like Cuphead and Getting Over It. Like all the meme games, he plays them. He just hit 1 million subs. He's probably at like 1,000,001 right now. We had him on the show, and he curses a lot. Okay, and we were having a bunch of callers.
He doesn't just curse. He also speaks about
vulgar.
terrible, vulgar things like touching buttholes.
Yeah,
in the
so
Walmart bathroom.
exactly. So he said that when he came to us that he thought we were going to be touching assholes inside of a Walmart bathroom, or he told one of the callers that called
We can
in
meet
to
up and do that.
yeah, he told one of the callers to put on their retarded helmet and then stick a nail and keep headbutting it until it goes through his head and all these other things.
Jesus.
Right? So
was a good show.
Yeah, no, it was a
I thought
really
Adam's sensual reading of 50 Shades of Grey was bad.
no. It was like way worse, dude. Anyway, so it was the one show. So at that point, I think we've been going on for about 4 or 5 weeks at that when he was on the show.
Yeah.
And my mom had listened to every single episode going up to it, and she was like really enjoying it and really liking it. So she's up camping, and she's telling everybody at the
like-
rec center, "Hey, everyone needs to come listen to my son's radio show."
No.
And everyone around was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll all come." And so the entire campsite was
Oh,
like,
God.
"Let's go listen to this show." And she turns it on. It was that show. And after about half an hour, everybody left. And she was just like, "I'm sorry."
That's fucking fantastic.
Wow.
Your poor mom.
I don't,
She must have been so embarrassed, though.
Yeah, exactly. She listened.
what?
Go ahead.
I feel like I have a little bit of a similar situation when I was trying to promote Pixels and Bits, where I got my dad to start watching a couple episodes, and I think it was right around when we had, I think it was Brian Baker, or something around that time. He's like, yeah, I'll start listening, and he's just like, I see this one with this guy named Adam. I'm gonna give him a listen.
Oh goodness.
And it was the episode where we read 50 Shades of Grey. I had a really tough time explaining that one to him.
It was for the memes, Dad.
I swear to God, Dad.
I did it for the lulz.
I gotta thank Corey for being the one to really push me into getting good at PR and getting shit done. Because I remember it was after like the first episode or second episode, I asked Corey, I'm like, "Hey Corey, who do you want on as a guest on the show?
Oh, shit,
Name anybody."
And I was like, oh, Tommy Tallarico.
Yeah, Tommy Tallarico. He just asked for him, composer, a lot of games. He does Video Games Live, the big, touring group.
Right.
I was like, okay. And I think about half an hour later, I'm like, done. He's going to be on the next episode.
And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? He's just like, yeah, I just sent a message to Tommy Tallarico, and he responded, he's going to be on the next episode. I'm like, wait, what the shit? You did this while we were recording?
Yeah, it was because of him also, like, just that. I'm like, oh, this is how you do this PR thing.
That's how shit gets done.
Exactly, and I loved it. Like, and what also made that episode special was that was the very first episode Tommy was on, and he had no idea who Tommy Tallarico was. And we were...
No, and then we put Tommy in the spotlight, and then Tommy had no idea what to say.
Yeah, we were like, all right, your turn to ask a question, Tommy.
I don't remember what he asked, but it's literally like one of those like things that's like, it's like, top 20 questions to ask in an interview, or something like that.
A canned response.
Exactly.
Question.
Do you like video games?
No.
No.
End of
Burn 'em all.
conversation.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that
Video
was
games are for Satan.
that was Memory Lane. Like,
Yeah, that's what that segment's called now.
yeah, Memory Lane. Sure, why
Cruising
not?
down a 6'4" memory lane, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, Corey, what have you been playing lately? Anything?
I mean, when it comes to me playing games, I never tend to play one game because my attention span is crap. So I tend to bounce a lot between games. So right now, I've been bouncing between 4 titles, and that is Persona 5, which I'm about 20 hours in. Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, which I'm about the 4th Colossi. I picked up Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is immensely fun, and Monster Hunter.
There we go. There it is.
And Monster Hunter is definitely the most fun anti-PTA game I've ever played.
PTA?
Anti-PTA.
What do you mean? As in like anti-parents
No,
association?
PTA. What the hell am I saying? What's that shit? What's that? Oh,
Huh?
PETA.
Oh, PETA.
Oh, PETA.
PETA. Yeah, shitty PETA.
I was like, what does the PTA have to do with this?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, you can hit your palate.
Well, I forgot. I just forgot the E. That's all.
You forgot the PETA.
Hey, keep in mind, guys, I've been up since 5 a.m. So
You got the E. He's left
little
side
tired.
wave.
You're like an adult now.
I know.
You got a job at a bank.
Yeah, I'm a banker.
You're a banker.
I can't say which bank, but yeah, I'm a banker.
Do you feel like the Monopoly man on a daily basis?
Sometimes, but I'm the kind. But I feel like I'm the banker who tries a little too hard. Like some of my coworkers, like you know that episode, you know, like when you would watch SpongeBob and he would go to like his work and he like enjoyed the shit out of his job and was like overly enthusiastic.
You're a mouth
I'm not
breather.
like I don't necessarily overly enjoy my job, but I'm so overly enthusiastic to my coworkers, mostly for my own sanity. But I'm mostly overly enthusiastic to the point where some of my coworkers find me a little annoying.
Did you call him a mouth breather?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You keep using the term. I don't think you know what it means.
It's just a genuine. It's just a general term for me. To be completely honest with you, Connor, I don't want to know the meaning, and here's the reason why.
It's an idiot.
Why would you? I just said I didn't want to know.
Because you're a mouth breather.
But we're all mouth breathers, unless you breathe exclusively through your nose. Unless you're Lord Voldemort, then you're exclusively a mouth breather.
Well, he has slits.
You
might-
watched the show and you couldn't deduce that?
What?
He watched Stranger Things.
Just the first season.
Oh.
That's where it got. They even say it in the show.
I know they do.
She goes mouth breather and he goes, stupid person. That's like in the show.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
That's not.
It's a joke.
Now, spoiler alert would be spoiling that amazing waffle surprise that her and the sheriff had.
Thank you. I'm glad I got there. Waffle surprise does not sound safe for work.
That's fair. That's fair. What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't. Oh,
question.
Corey's games he's been playing lately.
Oh yeah.
I like how
yeah.
like he was saying his games, and when he finally said Monster Hunter, you're like, oh yeah, you're a legitimate gamer now.
Well, no, it's because like he got like every game that came out recently, and I was like Monster Hunter, right? And it was the last on the
I
list.
tend to buy about 1 to 3 games a month.
Which is
More than I do.
pretty fucking good.
I don't. I just GameFly.
I buy one.
No, if I had to pick a game that like I even still play it constantly, even though I picked it up over a year and a half ago, and that's Titanfall.
1 or 2.
And 2. I love the hell out of that game. That's one of my favorite games that have come out in the past 5 years, alongside like Witcher 3 and Zelda. But with Titanfall, I just feel I feel a little sad because I try and get in a match now on PlayStation. It's like 10-minute wait. I'm like, oh, I'm like, we'll make a cup of coffee.
What the fuck?
I don't.
Yeah, the music just died.
Oh, were you just
Oh.
changing songs?
It just so happened to be the end, like, of that song, and,
Right.
and then everyone stopped talking. I was like, why did everyone just stop talking?
I thought you had a playlist going this whole time.
No.
Same.
Just shout it out there. 8-Bit Universe. That is the channel where I'm just grabbing these from.
So it is one channel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They all sound virtually the same.
Yeah, 8-Bit Universe. So if you want some nice chiptune versions of actual songs.
Done a lot of good conversions.
And then it goes to the next recommended video. Carly Rae Jepsen playlist.
Oh no. Oh no, don't do that.
You sound like genuinely not happy.
Oh, was that the game?
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about really quick. is this game called E.Z. And reason why I want to talk about it is I just signed on yesterday to be the head of PR for this game. This will be the second game that I've undertaken. The first one was Horizon Shift by Flump Studios. This one, Easy, is by Totally Normal Creatures. And it is a awesome platformer in which you just try to go from left to right.
Maybe I'm skeptical, but I doubt they're totally normal creatures.
And I doubt it's not easy.
Oh no, it's definitely not easy. It's like it lulls you into a false sense of security through the first like 10 or 20 levels. Because you're just like, oh, I know platformers, I can do the jump. And then it just kicks your ass, and it's fantastic.
Oh, so it's almost like Breath of the Wild. It's like, wow, this is so pretty. Ooh, I got a stick. I'm gonna kick this guy's. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone go buy Easy. It's only $2. It's on sale right now for $1.79. And there, I did my PR job for the day.
Yeah.
No, but we have a lot of things in the works.
Hold on, it's on sale right now. You're not doing good enough.
What do you mean?
It's on sale, 10% off.
Oh, I said it's on sale right now. Or for $1.79 is what I said.
Yeah, but it's on sale right now.
Oh, right now, that's true. Corey, go buy it. Do you have a $1.79 in church change in your pocket?
It's normally $2.
Yeah.
It comes with 120 achievements.
Is it an Xbox exclusive?
It is a Steam exclusive.
Ah.
When is it going to be on Switch?
When is it going to be on Switch? Mm-hmm. I'll ask the dev.
There you go.
I want to know what's coming to my BlackBerry. Damn it!
Not
well,
my
BlackBerry
game.
uses Android now, so.
Well, what BlackBerry does he have though?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You put a hole in my wrench.
I don't know if I'm happy about that.
Putting a hole in his wrench?
Yeah. I feel kind of bad actually.
Damn.
I'm sorry, man.
So since we were talking about tabletop gaming, Corey, have you done tabletop gaming before?
Yes, I have. I've done a few rounds of D&D before, and I will admit I am the worst berserker in the entire world.
I have a question for you, Corey. Is it D&D or Pathfinder?
D&D.
Okay, I'm glad you know the difference because I didn't. We just got invited to a tabletop convention, and we were pressed there, and I didn't know there was a difference.
You silly.
For some reason, believe that the people behind D&D.
I was thankfully fortunate enough to be educated about it at my times with Manny at anime conventions, because multiple times we would go to this anime convention in St. Louis, and there was always this one like really big like tabletop gaming convention called Archon, and
Wait,
yeah,
was it Orcon? ORCCON?
No, yeah, Archon, like ARCHON.
Okay.
Because we went to OrcCon, and I was like, wait, are you pronouncing Orcon just differently? Might have been the same shit, but nope.
Yeah, sorry, my Midwesterner drawl sucks.
No, it was nothing on your.
It was an actual different name, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I would learn from tabletop gaming about that, and then I would get invited from friends for college, and we would go and play D&D, but it mostly involved a few drinks and just us like de-evolving into just like
that sounds
drunken
like
bard tales by the end of it.
Yeah, that sounds like a very normal standard issue D&D session.
That's about what we do.
You keep going until the drunkenness makes it to where you're no longer playing D&D and you're just imaginarily fucking elves in the bar, you know.
Well, I mean, to give you an idea how terrible I am as a barbarian / berserker, me and my party walked into like this castle, and it's just like you go forward, and basically it's like, okay, roll, get like 2, and it's like, oh, what appears like fucking 5 zombies.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, Corey, it's your roll. What do you do? And I'm like, I rolled a run. I got a 20, and I got out of there.
And then everybody died, and I was at the bar with some elves. It was awesome.
Yes, and basically, and then like my teammates are just like, "Oh God, he's attacking me! Roll for fireball. I use fireball on him." And then it's just like, "Okay, Corey, what are you rolling for?" And so it's like, "I'm rolling to cook this barbecue." And then eventually it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back in there. But by the time I went back in there, they were all dead.
You fucking Andrew just blue balled us on the opening the can there. He fucking goes up. He's like, I'm gonna open the fucking can on the mic, and then he fucking lets the fizz out, but he doesn't do the satisfying clack.
You wanted any of that?
Like, what the fuck?
He's like, if you were going to do it all the way. I went hard and then went soft halfway in.
Just like you.
Classic Andrew.
Classic Andrew.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I keep thinking about it. You're the mid-20s white guy equivalent of the mom when kids are playing video games because she calls everything a Nintendo. That's you with.
It's like I
you with
only
the Indian Pathfinder. Hey, you guys
Thanks.
playing your Dungeons and Dragons?
No, Ma, we're playing Pathfinder.
Nerds. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've been doing this show for too fucking long.
It's been like
5 months.
5 months, yeah.
Corey, how long did I do Pixels and Bits?
I did it for 4 years.
No, how long did I do it?
A month.
You did it for 3.
Jesus, I did it for 3 years?
Yeah.
Goodness. I didn't even know I had that kind of commitment inside of me.
Damn.
Well, you started
I'm in a
with me back
7-year
in December of
relationship.
2011.
Damn.
Well, I started in 2011?
Yeah.
Wow.
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 The moral of the story is don't be a little bitch, Andrew. Oh man, I didn't catch any Overwatch League today.
It's
Oh, wow.
okay. Oh, you know who was at Overwatch League today live? Fucking Xavier Woods. He's a WWE wrestler, and he was wearing a London Spitfire shirt.
Nice.
Or he's on YouTube as Up Up Down Down. He has a Let's Play channel. His channel is really cool in the sense that you
I'm
watch
just
it.
waiting for Brock Lesnar to show up wearing the Tracer t-shirt.
Brock Lesnar doesn't do anything except hunt and have relations with Sable.
What?
Sable is an
Oh,
old
Animal
wrestler.
Crossing?
Yeah. No, hold on. The
Isn't she-
wrestler.
Wait, how old is Sable?
Old, but so is Brock Lesnar.
That's true. Yeah, you're gonna get the animal.
I
Is,
that's Sable.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
boy.
from a long time ago.
She's from the 80s and
from a
90s.
long
Yeah.
time ago.
She so Sable is 50.
Yeah, wow, how old is Brock Lesnar?
Probably like 40 something.
I think he's 40
I think
something.
you're in Bag Raiders.
Yes.
He's 40.
He's 40.
No, he's straight up 40. Okay.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter at that age.
No, but can I say, like, as a woman, how scary would it be to have this man on top of you?
I mean, probably not super scary, unless he's like. Oh wait, never mind.
Do you,
I was gonna say unless he's known for being violent.
yeah, former UFC heavyweight
he's made a
champion.
career out of it.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's played in the NFL. He's been in the UFC. He's been a WWE wrestler.
I mean, that doesn't mean shit.
Oh, being
Maybe
in WWE.
Yeah.
I strongly disagree.
It just means that doesn't mean you're a violent person.
Yeah, I'm
You're
saying
oh,
that doesn't.
okay, violent.
Yeah.
You're an
Okay.
actor. Like,
That does not make him seem violent.
Maybe he's a real gentle lover.
Maybe.
gentle.
I just
He's
can't
like Andre
imagine
the
it.
Giant.
Oh, goodness.
He's pretty fit, so
Brock Lesnar?
yeah. So
Dude is
Like a good
built like a
stamina.
fucking tank.
yeah.
brick shithouse.
He yeah,
Well, I mean, the
he eats
truth is that he's actually a tank.
He was adopted by humans and raised as one.
Well, Mikhail Albano's actually shit.
What? What?
Well, you guys know the South Park theory. How Bono's actually shit, so he always has to be
Oh.
number 1 and everything. So he's no longer number 2.
He's not a number 2
Oh,
anymore.
it's a South Park thing. Okay. No, I didn't know about that one.
I didn't either.
That one's a good episode.
That's fucking funny.
You have to special order Brock Lesnar's gloves because he wears like a 16 size glove, like triple E.
Yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
Jesus.
No, he's like, yeah, he's stupid. That's all I gotta say. I wouldn't say that to his face. He would rip me in half by breathing on me
I
hard.
think the only person I know who would have the courage to do that would be Nathan Barnett.
Nathan,
Yes, you're probably right.
Yeah.
As fucking
Because after
Keith
meeting him
Apicary.
in person, I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, he is wild as shit.
so what I will say, and I will give him total credit. You guys all know who Chris Jericho is.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris Jericho. So at SummerSlam, either last year or the year before, there was a finish between Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar, and nobody knew what the finish was except Vince McMahon, the two wrestlers, and the referee. Right. So Brock was on top of Randy, and he started hitting him with like legit elbows.
Oh shit!
God.
Right, and he actually cracked Randy's skull, gave him a concussion, and made blood come out of his head because he was supposed to make him bleed, but he was hitting him on the wrong side. Like, they don't blade in WWE anymore, so when you bleed, it's on purpose. But he bladed on the other side of his head. So Brock was fucking nailing him with elbows, and he wasn't bleeding, so he kept hitting him and hitting him until you literally start seeing blood dripping out the side of his head. And nobody knew what the fuck was going on backstage.
Oh God!
Everyone was just like, what the fuck is Brock doing?
he
He's
killing
literally
him?
hurting. Like, he is...
He's gonna kill the man.
Exactly. So when he got backstage, Chris Jericho fucking grabbed him by the neck, pushed him up against the wall, and said, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Chris Jericho is an older gentleman now. He's not old by any
I mean,
means.
Brock Lesnar's 40, so
Chris is old. Yeah, but...
is Chris
like-
Jericho older than him?
Yes.
Is he?
Yes. I will look it up right now, but like I will show you Chris Jericho in 2017 and then look at Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar still looks like a fucking brick house.
Chris Jericho's 47.
47? Yeah, not
Yeah.
that much only.
No, but
He's not just a brick house. He is the brick house.
he's the brick house and like
And I think
Chris-
that's Cain Velasquez.
oh, that's fair. Chris is much smaller than this man
Right.
and he was just like, "No, like what are you doing? Like you don't do that to our other wrestlers." Chris Jericho's had a habit of that though in his career. He also picked fights with Goldberg back in the day, who was another big O dude.
Big O?
Big O.
Yeah, Goldberg's not that big. He's not Brock Lesnar big.
I mean, he's not as big as Brock Lesnar. What, dude?
Well,
Fucking, it's blue. Or I'm blue.
Yes, Goldberg is
Absolutely.
6'4", 266 pounds.
Yeah, see, he's not insanely huge.
Chris Jericho back then, he was a cruiserweight, so he weighed
Yeah.
under 200. But anyway,
And he's bigger than Brock Lesnar.
who
Goldberg is?
Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is 6'3", 265 pounds.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. The difference is Brock.
Goldberg is an inch taller and a pound more.
The camera makes his ass look bigger.
Yeah, exactly. The difference is I feel like, especially at this point, like if you, because Goldberg came back to wrestling this last year, and he wrestled like 3 or 4 matches, but like he was in decent shape, but I could tell some of that weight was just from him getting older. Brock is
Actually, there's legitimately a picture of Goldberg right here, and it's like 38, 50, and it's cut in half, and he's really much the same. Like he's his pecs got bigger, not fatter or anything. He just got bigger pecs. But his biceps are a little smaller, like his shoulder area. That's about it.
I gotta ask Corey, have you ever been into wrestling? I know Miguel
What the fuck
has
did this
been.
show become?
When I was
The kind of
younger,
wrestling
yeah,
show.
back when
Yeah.
when like The Rock was still a thing, and Hulk Hogan was on the tail end of his years and things like that. So I mean, for me, like
WO.
up until about 2002, then that's kind of where I dropped it as a kid because I didn't care as much anymore. I think that's also because right around that time I started getting into like gaming a lot more seriously, and that's when I started playing a lot more MMOs like Ragnarok and RuneScape and stuff
Hey.
like that.
Nice. Speaking about old games and whatnot, is there any old games that any of us here that we used to play a lot, hadn't played for a long time, and have recently gotten back into? You don't have to do it like in the past week or anything, but like recently. Because for me, it's actually Skate 3. I used to play Skate all the time back in the day. And then I hadn't played like Skate, Tony Hawk, or any skateboarding game at all. And then it was just like, I saw Skate 3, they repackaged it for Xbox One. And I was like, I'm getting this. And I've just been playing it. It's super fun. Having a great time.
Yeah, Skate's a great game to fuck around with. Playing with the physics of it.
I tried playing Skate and like I just had a demo and I didn't take the time to learn it. So at the time I'm like, this is bad because I don't understand it.
They made 3 of them.
Yeah, I know. Well, that doesn't always indicate good.
The funny thing is, I think I like Skate more for replayability than for original play. It's like you play through it and you have to unlock things and you have to like do the tricks and shit, and it's like, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's
It's
the one
a bit
thing that I'm
tedious,
going
yeah.
through.
And
That's
then,
what I'm going through right now. I'm like, I don't have all these tricks. There's like so much that I have to unlock.
and then once you have things unlocked, it's like, oh yeah, this is fucking fun.
Yeah. Just like even on like Tony Hawk, it was like, you have all the skate spots, whereas if you don't play through the story, you literally have like on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4,
I think it was more fun though.
it was
on
just
Tony
the
Hawk.
college, Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the college was a really good level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like from the get go, you're like, oh fuck yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick an old game that I've been playing around with a lot with lately, that I've just kind of reminisced about as a kid is since I picked up one of those Super Nintendo classics recently.
Yeah, they're so.
I was able to play F-Zero for the first time in probably about 20 years. And my God, that was bliss.
It's such a good game, and like, that's one that I play over all the time. It's one of my favorite all-time games.
Its only flaw, I think, is that there's no multiplayer.
That is an interesting thing about it, because it would be if you could have the split screen and actually have the multiplayer, that'd be pretty cool. But
that would have been immensely fun.
They have it on. You could play multiplayer on the GBA version.
Oh,
no, it's wise. Like as a kid, I got F-Zero, but then because I wanted to play with my little brother, but it didn't have multiplayer, I got like this like Power Rangers version of F-Zero where they're racing on like hover bikes and stuff like that. And we played that instead, and it controlled like crap. But I mean, my little brother was able to play games with me.
Yeah, that was Power Rangers Turbo, I think.
You're
yes, thank you.
Yeah,
you're a lot nicer to your little brother than most people. Most people just have their the other controller.
Oh, I never let him win.
Oh well.
I mean, still
depends on how old he was, Andrew. That doesn't work.
Getting
forever.
a game to play with your little brother, though, at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. For me, like it's not like, I mean,
It's just MLB The Show again.
I mean, I'm constantly playing that, and like. I think, was I always playing MLB The Show back in Pixels and Bits?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nothing's changed. And I'd say the one thing that's changed is I dropped Hearthstone.
Yeah, you did.
After not making it to the World's qualifiers, which really pissed me off.
Oh, that you just missed it?
By 1 point!
Oh, I thought you were talking about the time where you actually, like, you were invited to the tournament and everything, and you
no,
just didn't
that was
go.
like strike one.
Yeah, you were, like, ready to go to the tournament, and you just got the days mixed up.
Yep.
And it was like, that was yesterday. And you're like, oh.
Yep. So that was I got invited. Someone dropped out last second, and I'm friends with a lot of Legend players. And they know I've never been Legend, but they're like, oh no, this guy's good. So I get an invite. They're like, hey, we want you to come play to qualify for Worlds for tournaments. You know, if you win, you'll win a lot of money. And I was like, yeah, that's like the opportunity of a lifetime. But wrong day. I got ready for the tournament on the wrong day. I no-showed it.
You silly fool.
Yep.
Then the other time, I missed out qualifying for the qualifiers, which sounds weird. But
coming from playing Magic, no, it doesn't.
Qualifying for the qualifiers by 1 point because the round robin bullshit. Exactly. In the end, it just doesn't even matter. But
take that kind of stuff too hard.
Dude, I completely have dropped it since then. Like my apathy. I don't even know if apathy. I don't think apathy is the right word, but like
apathy meaning you don't care.
Yeah, is just risen to the point now where I'm just like, I don't even want to play this game anymore.
It's yeah, like Miguel was saying, like you take it too hard or something. It's like because you talk about Overwatch and being all like
fuck that game.
You talk about being all fucked up about it. I'm like, we haven't even done anything important. Like, there's nothing to even worry about.
And you put forth a really good performance for having only played the game for like fucking 2 weeks.
Played the game for 1 week
and not being a shooter.
Even more so. And you almost got fucking gold.
Anyway, the game that I like, old game that I've been playing again more recently is Vindictus. I played it starting in like 2010, 2011. Dropped it for years and years and years, and just started playing it again recently. What? You said that like you remember Vindictus fondly. Did you ever play Vind?
No, I have, and it's like it's not a game that I don't despise, but I don't have fond memories of it either. But like, if I don't hate it, it's just like, oh yeah.
Miguel and I went for the old college try-in.
That's fair, and like we were playing, Miguel and Connor and myself. We were playing for about an hour or two. And what I learned from playing with them is the game is horrible playing in a group until you're at least in your level 40s or 50s.
No, yeah, it's true, and it's kind of obvious from like when the first couple levels. This is like, oh,
it's way too easy.
This is definitely geared towards more like in game, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I would love to keep playing with them, but then for it to be any fun at any point, they would then have to grind to level 40 or 50, and trying to make that argument. I don't think I'm gonna win that argument.
I mean, and that's the reason why like I stuck with things like World of Warcraft for so long, is because they always kept a carrot in front of you. Whereas with like Vendetta, it's like, oh man, you would be a really cool character. Yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, here's that carrot. It's like, it's really far away. It's like, yeah, you got to work there to get it.
Yeah, it's like level 40 is when you begin to get like cool shit and you start to like being able to transform and unlock a bunch of really cool stuff. But until then, like we were playing and like Miguel was like, this is fun. Like he was like, I'm having so much fun. It was not a good experience.
I don't know if I've mentioned it before on the show, but my experience with World of Warcraft, where I played it originally when it came out, like a long fucking time ago, and then I got
Same
banned.
here, man.
Yeah, and then I got banned for cheating. and then I didn't play for years and years and years. And then around, I think it was 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, Brenda and I started playing, and I was enjoying it. But like when I was about level 10, 12, like it was on the first day, you know, I saw a guy riding this dragon. It's called the Drake of the Northwind. I saw that dragon, and I was like, dude, that dragon is so amazing. And I was like, I want that dragon. And I was playing it, played it for about 2 months, solid playing. Got the Drake of the Northwind, and never played again. I was like, I felt completed. I was like, I have gotten what I want out of this game. I have the dragon that I've so much wanted.
And that's kind of like every like World of Warcraft player when like there's like an expansion and it's like, oh man, that new gear, all that new mount, oh man, that shit looks so good. And then like you work your ass off to get to it, and then you finally get to it, and it's just like, all right, not really anything else that I want. I think I'm just gonna log on to the next update or next expansion.
Yeah, I haven't even done that. Like I was going through it and everything, and I was just like, I got what I wanted out of this game.
I think that's why I'm so excited about the new expansion, and I'm actually really willing to give it a try, is because it's the vanilla side of things, and that was what I remembered most fondly.
Oh,
was the
vanilla.
original content.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since some of that original content you can't experience anymore, since after Cataclysm they changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They completely changed the entire landscape in Cataclysm.
Let's go party.
And which I mean, I thought was like, it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. And then like when you get past the surface value of it, and you get past, you know, Vizier and World Tree, it's just like, okay, I mean, there's some cool dungeons and a story about a dragon. Is there anything else? It's like there wasn't as much to say like the whole continent of Northrend or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I honestly like. I know a lot of people really like Northrend. I hated Northrend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I hated it. Like I enjoyed Outland far more than.
Did you play through the Warlords of Draenor?
I never got that far in the Warlords of Draenor. Warlords of Draenor is where I stopped, actually.
That's when I was playing as Warlords of Draenor, and then yeah, like I said, I got the Drake of the Northwind and then stopped playing. But what I hear tapping.
Oh, sorry. I'm really getting into this music.
That's funny.
Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Oh God.
Miguel, do you have any games like that though? That you
Nope.
No old school games that you're just like, fuck yeah.
No, not lately.
He doesn't play games other than like he plays like 20 games in his whole life.
No, I've played a lot of games.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Judging from all these lists that we've done, when you've had incomplete lists or no lists, it has
or
been
like cobbled together lists at the last second.
Oh, I do that with every list actually. I've
Oh,
never prepared a list.
Yeah,
Why?
I always ask him, like, I get in the car though, and I'm like, so you got your list? And he's like, no, and I'm like, I spent like an hour or two working on making my list because I couldn't figure it out.
Right? I do that for almost every episode.
Well,
Putting in the minimal effort.
it's pretty much like the first things that come to mind are the ones that make the list.
I would, but then you'd like, for me, I would end up forgetting like
Yep.
a game that was like really big, and I'd want to saw my own dick off.
Yeah, exactly. What I do is I'll go on Wikipedia and look at a list of all the games that were released for it.
I
and
did
just
that
go,
for the
no,
ones that
no,
I had
no.
that I didn't have lists for because I didn't have those. I'm like, okay, what games have I played on these consoles? Yeah.
You played the.
See,
big
I actually
game.
had to get a list out just because of just I got way too much, especially with my Steam library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we were doing top 5 games like per console because we were like, oh, we never actually did top 5 of all time. Like we couldn't.
No, we still got to do
I think
current
honestly,
gen
I
too.
think that
That's
kind of
true.
list is damn near impossible.
just to get
Really?
a top 5. I have,
From,
you know,
from an
I actually
objective standpoint,
I
I
have
believe
my
so.
top
It's
4
why I never
locked in.
tried with the Overshield.
Well, but not best ever, but favorites. That's we make a very clear distinction.
Okay, yeah.
Your favorite games from those systems. Like I have a very distinct 4. Like I have 4 narrowed down. I don't know what I want to put for my 5th favorite game.
So if you could pick your favorite game, nostalgia blinders and everything, what would it be?
Oh, it's Animal Crossing.
Yeah, mine's super easy peasy also. It's Kingdom Hearts.
Dark Souls.
Bam.
Wind Waker.
And Waker?
What?
Yeah, see, we all know our favorite game.
Yeah, like I've thought about it a lot. Like I know my top 4. So,
And right behind it is Half-Life 2.
that is a good game.
I never played it.
So,
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, if I was making like an objective list of the top 5 games
go.
of all time, like I would have a really hard time. Like I would probably...
Like I know, like for objectively, like there's a lot of games that I think are like objectively really great, but I personally don't like. Like for example, I will immediately acknowledge that like Red Dead Redemption was one of the best games of the last generation. It was a
Fucking love
fantastic
that
game,
game.
amazing story and everything. But here's the thing, I personally didn't like it because the theme didn't appeal to me.
let's see. For me, like everything about that game works. Like that's one of the ones vying for my 5th place. Like I don't know what my 5th favorite game is because I haven't decided. And it's like that's one of them that's like always pushing.
This is like
up.
Sensual Jazz Green Hills. What is this?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're running out of time here.
This is the playing off music.
Yeah, this is our chillax and get the fuck out music.
So, real quick, Corey, before we let you go, where can people find you? Social media, give yourself a plug.
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter at Short Circuit 15, though then again I hardly use Short Circuit. So I mean, you can follow me on maybe the Overshield, and I might do something there with it eventually. Who knows? But as far as my social media is concerned, I'm not gonna lie, that's about it. I'm a little buried now.
As far as my social media is concerned, don't.
If you want to find him, just go to random banks out in...
If you guys want to find me, go to Andrew.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's fair. I am your gatekeeper.
He's my PR guy.
Oh, God, another one? Everyone go buy Easy on Steam. And from everyone here at Chaotic Radio and the Kinda Gaming Show, we want to say thank you for tuning in, and we will be live again next Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9:55 p.m.
Stay sexy, folks.
We love you.
Will do.
Thanks. Stay chaotic.
Bye.